In this video, I will talk about how conditional formatting using formulas can make your life easier by helping you organize and prioritize your tasks and list through visual formatting on the basis of specific criteria. So watch it till the end. Hi there, welcome back to Tech Reflections. I am Vikram. Let's first have a sneak peek into what we will achieve at the end of this video. So on your screens, you can see I've used an example where I have set up a goal, and that is vacationing abroad. This must be a goal in your list also. So for achieving this goal, I've mentioned 7 activities that I need to do. So if you can see, there is a status for each and every activity. So whenever I complete one activity, I'll change the status. So let's assume that the first activity that completed is arrange the educational documents. So I'll go ahead and change its status. So just by changing the status, you can see the whole row gets into green color. The formatting changes for that particular row. So that is what we are going to do here, because whenever an activity is completed, it will change the color. We have 3 statuses here, like not started, completed, and in progress. So according to that, once we change the status for an activity, just by looking at the list, we know how many activities are currently not started and in progress that needs our attention. Apart from that, if you must have noticed that there is a top row which is also changing the colors or changing the formatting on the basis of the value that we are selecting. Let me show you once again. So if, let's say, all the activities are in not started phase, the top row is also in the blue color, which is the color for not started. And if, let's say, all the activities are completed, then it changed the color to green, which is the color for completed activities. So let's say any activity is not started or in progress in between, then the status or the top row, that is the status for the goal, would also be in progress. So in this video, we will see how this is done, because this will be done via conditional formatting rule using a formula. If you want to know basics of conditional formatting, then you can find the video for the same by clicking on the I button. Now let's explore how we can use conditional formatting to format whole row. So in this data now, if we want to format the whole row, then first of all, we need to select the whole data set and then click on conditional formatting, go to new rules. And in new rules, there are different rule types that are already predefined. So we have to select the one which says use a formula to determine which cells to format. And here, in this case, we want to format the cells on the format the row on the basis of value that is there in the column C. So what we can do, we can just type in equal to start the formula, and then select the first cell where the value which we need to check is present, that is C3. Now here is C3. You can see there are 2 dollar signs, one before C and one before 3 is there. What does that mean? This means that right now we are having an absolute reference to cell C3. So wherever, even if we drag this formula, the formula will keep referring to C3, but that's not what we want. In that case, uh, all the cells will be colored on the basis of, formatted on the basis of the value in the C3 itself. So what we will do, we want, because we want all the rows to be colored on the basis of the value that is there in the corresponding column C. So in that case, column C is fine, that we can fix, that we can have an absolute reference, but the row number, that is 3, needs to change with every, every next cell, every next row, sorry. So we can just go ahead and delete the dollar sign just before 3. So now it will be a relative reference for the row number. Whenever we change the row, this row number automatically gets changed. So here now we write down the first thing. The first thing that we need to do is, let's see, we want to give a conditional formatting for not started first. So just mention not started in the quotes. and then select the format that you want. In our case, we'll just go to fill. Format that we want for not started is blue. So we click on the blue color, click OK, and then click OK here. So and the moment we clicked OK, all the rows which are having a status as not started, gets formatted in the blue color. Now we want the same thing to be repeated for in progress and completed status also. For that, we need to go again to new rule, select the user formula to determine which cells to format. Same thing will be repeated. So we'll put equal to, then select the column cell C3, remove this reference for this absolute reference for the row, and this time just put equal to in progress. They should be within the quotes, and set the format. Then in our case we have set the format as yellow. Okay, and then click OK. So the row which is having the status as in progress changes to yellow color, and then we add the next rule, that is another new rule, formula one, type in equal to, and then select cell C3, remove again the absolute reference for the row number, and this time should be equal to completed, and we'll change the status, change the format to green color, and then we click OK. So now in our data, you can see all the rows are formatting is changed on the basis of the status for that particular row. We can go ahead and make the changes. You can, if you want to make the changes to the color or any other change to the formula, you can go back to the conditional formatting, go to manage rules. Sorry, we have not selected. First of all, we need to select the the cells, the range where the conditional formatting is applied, and then go to conditional formatting, click on manage rules, and all the rules which are applied to these set of rows or columns will be displayed here. You can add new rules, you can edit rules, you can even delete rules. So right now we are not doing this, so we just click OK and come out of it. Guys, if you find this video as per your expectation, then like, comment, and share this video. And now we move to the next part where we will be formatting the top row of this list on the basis of the status for all these 7 activities. So because this would be done via an if formula within the conditional formatting, and in conditional formatting, you'll not get any help for writing that if formula. So it's better approach to write the formula within this Excel sheet here itself to see if it works, and then we can copy that formula within the conditional formatting. So let's see how that is done. So we will write down if here. So what we are trying to do, there will be 3 conditions here. First is if all the activities are not started, then the final status would be not started. And if all the activities are in completed state, then the final status for the goal would also be completed. And the third one would be the most complicated one, where we want to see when is the goal is in progress state. So let's first do the first 2 conditions, that is all not started and all not completed. So in this case, let me write down the formula where we would be counting if within this range, that is C3 to C9, if the status is, let's say, not started within quotes, and if this count is equal to 7, then we just mention as true, true, otherwise false. Let's see if it works. Yes. So it is working for us because in our case, all of the activities are not in not started phase. So it is false. So let me check if, let me convert all them to not started, and now it shows us true. So which means that we are having this form. This is the correct formula, and we can use it. So we can just copy this from here and select this cell where we want to. Sorry, select the first row where we want to apply this conditional formatting. Go to conditional formatting, create new rule. Again, we'll use the one with the formula. And here we just copy the formula, paste the formula that we copied from there, and select the format, because this one is for not started. So not started is in blue color. Click OK, and we'll click OK here also. So see, the first top row gets formatted on the basis of the value that we are having for the status in all the activity columns, that is not started. Okay, now we want to do the same for if all the activities are incompleted. So again, we'll select the first row, that is first top row, which is already selected. Now go to conditional formatting, add a new rule, select the formula one, copy this formula, and this time change not started value to completed. So what this formula is doing is that it is checking if all the values, all the seven activities are completed. So that means that the count of completed word would be 7. So we'll come to know that all are completed. So we'll just change the format to green color, which is okay. And now let us check it by changing the status of all the activities to completed. So this is working fine for us. Now the last part, which is formula for in progress. This one is a little complicated one. So let us again first type it here in the Excel itself before putting it in the conditional formatting window. So the logic that we are trying to use here is that if you want to see in progress, in that case, the total number of completed or total number of not started that we have should be less than 7. So there are multiple conditions here. In our case, we have two conditions, in fact, where the not started should be less than 7, and also the completed should be less than 7. So we will be using both this condition with and operators, which means that both the condition needs to be true, then only the status would be in progress. So let's see how it is done. We'll just modify the same formula because this is a longer one. So let me just change it here itself, and then we'll copy to the conditional formatting as we did earlier. So the first thing we want to check here is that the not started should be less than 7. So we just make these changes here. It should be not started should be less than 7, and the same thing we want to do it for completed also. So before that, just add and here, and operator. And how and works is first logical operations and then the second logical operation. So in our case, this is the first logical operation. Then we use the second one. We just copied it, and we now changing it to from not started to completed. And this should also be less than 7. So we'll just close the brace. Let's see pressing enter if it works. Right now it is false because all of the status are in completed. So let us first change one of them, and it works. So now it shows true, which means that we are falling into this condition where not started is less than 7 and completed is also less than 7. So ideally this is a scenario for in progress. So we are getting it true here. So that means it is okay. We can just copy it from here, um, press in escape, and then go to conditional formatting, add new rule, formula one, click on that, and just copy the formula which we have copied from there. Sorry, paste it here, and then we'll go to format, click the yellow color, okay, and we'll click on okay here. Sorry for that, this worked because we just selected this cell. The same thing needs to be repeated for this particular row here. So we'll just go again and click on new rule, click on format and just copy the same formula, select the color, okay, and we click OK, and it worked. So let us first check it also here. If you want to, let's say, change it back to completed. So the change, it changes the color. And now if I, let's say, change all of them to not started, then it changes the color to not started. So this way now we have seen how to change the format of the top row on the basis of the values which are there in the for the activities, the status of those activities. In this example, I have used a drop down for the status where I can go ahead and select any status among from not started, in progress, and completed. So this was helpful in conditional formatting, because if somebody types in a value which has a typo or which is not the same as we have used in our conditional formatting, then conditional formatting will not be able to format that particular row. So if you want to know how this drop down can be added to any particular cell, then you can tell me by dropping a comment into the comment box, and I'll reply back to you how this is done. And even we can have another video on adding a drop down to these cells. So guys, this is what we planned for today. Remember to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications whenever new video is uploaded. And if you want to watch more videos on Excel tools, then the link to the Excel playlist will be available on your screen now, and it's also there in the description. I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.